We are still in a rain delay. The tarp is still on the field, and they have just announced that they are expecting a 7 o'clock first pitch time. So in the meantime, this is Ken Harrelson along with a big hurt, Frank Thomas, the greatest hitter in White Sox franchise history. And we have a show called What It Means to Be a White Sox. Now, this segment is going to be featuring a team that started off very poorly in 1983. I think they were at one time 14-26. They wound up winning 99 ball games and won the division by 20. What it means to be a White Sox, then featuring the 1983 White Sox.
Down ball the hole. Good step back.
The White Sox went into 1983 feeling it was their time. Was it ever? 6 months later, they had dusted the competition in the AL West by 20 games.
We had a good mixture of old guys and young guys. Old mean in baseball terms, but not in reality. But it was a great chemistry. I mean, we came together more so in the second half and played very well, and it continued until we got to the playoffs.
We built 83, and then we won, and we thought we had a great team for the future. We won by 20 games, and we thought we were geniuses in baseball.
I think it was a very tight club. You know, we had some early adversity, under 500 there late in May. Once we got it rolling, the tightness of the team, we had great veterans with Lazinski and Kuzman, you know, Carlton Fisk, and then we had a great nucleus of young guys that really were respectful of the game.
83 was fantastic. I have never to this day ever seen a team with that kind of chemistry.
But 83 was a lot of fun. I mean, it was our third year. We had the greatest collection of ball players. They were great human beings. Lazinski, Fisk, Ron Kittle, Jerry Kuzman. It was just a great bunch of guys. And they all got along with each other. And of course, you know, after the lousy start, we just never lost any games. I mean, we started 16-24, and we ended up winning 99 games that year. It was a tremendous amount of fun.
We had guys that expected to win. You know, Fisk and Lazinski and all these guys had won before. So when we walked on the field, these guys expected to win. And us as young players, when we walked out there with them, we felt like we were going to win as well. So it was one of the great experiences, and as a young player, I chalk it up as one of the reasons I survived in the big leagues and had the mediocre career that I had.
The old ballpark was just rocking, and they had the super suites happening, and it was just, you know, the transformation in the new color diamond vision out there. It was just a fun year.
In the second half, the Sox pitching staff hit all the right notes as their top 3 starters combined to go 42-5.
We were young guys, and we kind of fed off each other. And when that happens, then you have great results because everybody wants to go out there the next day and do better than the guy did before. And that's a healthy competitiveness, and that's really what you want to have.
There's a deep drive left field. That's got a chance to go on the roof. It might even go out of here. Home run on the roof. The third one this year.
You know, it was unique, but we had a power team, and we had some great hitters. It was a great team altogether. I went to the park every single day to be the hero. I did not play any differently. I wanted to be the hero every single night, and I know that you can't do that, but if you take that good attitude into the game, you'll have success, and it worked. You know, I got Rookie of the Year.
We would sit in that clubhouse after some of the games, especially on losses, you know, with the Bull and Kuz and all the guys, and sit there sometimes at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. And that was old school.
So once we got it, you know, the bit in our teeth, you know, we were relentless. And I think a part of it was there was so much talk about you lose 2 games in a row, here comes the swoon that happens to Chicago baseball teams, and our guys just would not back off.
Cruz tagged. Here's the catch. Here comes the throw. Here comes Cruz. Sox grab the Golden Ray. The Chicago White Sox, the 1983 Western champions in the American League.
So it was, you know, one of the happiest moments in uniform ever. And we celebrated. I think that team let loose. And the thing that I remember the most about was the total inclusion of the organization. Sure. You know, there's that great story of Roland coming in and getting drenched, and Jerry was part of it. Eddie was part of it. Eddie was a part of it. You know, Schaefer in the security, the Bertucci's family. I mean, everybody felt they were part of it because they were.
I just remember hearing people say, hey, you know, there's bricks falling off Comiskey Park because the place was rocking so much.
When Harold Baines hit the fly ball to center field and Cruz scored the winning run, I mean, it was sheer bedlam. And the celebration was like it could have been if it had been the final day of the season to win it, but it felt the same way. And that was a great club that had great cohesion, and it was really fun to watch them perform and then to reward White Sox fans with that championship.
The thrill ride came to an end with a disappointing loss to Baltimore on a Tito Landrum homer in Game 4 after Britt Burns had pitched his heart out.
It was a great series. We just, you know, we got there. We thought we were going to get a lot more, and it doesn't happen that way.
All I have to say, I wish it would have been a 7-game series.
And I really think that '83 team kind of springboarded the new ownerships, the way they're going to look at White Sox baseball and the way our fans looked at White Sox baseball. Hey, we can win. Even though we didn't win the World Series that year, personally, being prejudiced toward that team, I felt like it was one of the more talented teams, one of the most special teams that did win the World Series.
Big Frank Thomas sitting beside me. Big Frank, as I said in that piece right there, in all my years in baseball, that was the greatest chemistry that I have ever seen on one team. Even teams that I played on, the team with the Oakland, you know, won all those championships out there. That was a very special team. But you also, and I agree with what Greg Walker said right there. I think that was the prototype, so to speak, of what it means to be a White Sox.
No doubt about it. That was a special segment to watch there. I wish they could take this piece. I hope the guys were in the locker room watching that. We're off to a so-so start this season. That is just a very inspirational piece. That team was special. You can tell they got along very well. In their clubhouse, I can just tell the energy they had in the clubhouse, and we need that right now.
Well, you played on a couple of clubs, too. That 90 team, when you first came up, that 90 team was not supposed to do that much.
Not at all, not at all.
94 ball games, you all had a great chemistry.
We had great chemistry, and we had a bunch of characters in that locker room. There was always energy. There was always guys getting on each other every day to keep the energy fresh. And that's what you need in the locker rooms nowadays. You got to keep guys motivated and continue to play, because a 162-game stretch, it can get boring at times. Guys can get lethargic. You really just have to do something special on a day-to-day basis to keep your fellow man into the ball game.
Another team that you played on that had a great chemistry, too, and a lot of people think up until that time frame that was the best White Sox team ever, was the 94 team.
No doubt about it. I was depressed when everything went down, but I can tell people I played on probably one of the best teams that the world never got to see in a playoff situation. We just had everything rolling: the pitching, the hitting, the defense. It was just a very, very special group of guys.
And of course, the 05 team, a team that unfortunately, because of your injury and everything else, you didn't get to play that much, but you were still a member. You got a ring.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. That was a really special club. A lot of key veterans, guys that was willing to win and go to the next level, and that to me meant everything. Even though I didn't get to play in the World Series, I felt really, really attached to that ball club.
Well, you just brought up the subject that we were talking about before the rain delay, and that was what it takes when you get a club that's struggling like our team is right now. And like that 83 team started off at 14 and 26. Everybody was calling for everybody to get traded, everybody to get fired. Every time Tony stuck his head out of the dugout, the fans were chopping it off. Every time any of the coaches came out, the fans were all over them, and all of a sudden they turned it around and won 99 ball games. And what it takes to do that is a special chemistry in that clubhouse.
No doubt about it. And I really hope these guys are watching that piece, because you got the manager who's going to make sure guys don't get complacent for 162 ball games. To start 14 and 26, as you stated, I mean, it took a lot of grit, a lot of guts, and a lot of guys willing to just lay it on the line to get back in that race, and then to finish 20 games ahead. I mean, that's unheard of.
Well, this is no time to be negative about this 2010 team, because this is a good ball club that's just not playing good baseball.
No doubt about it. I think by the end of this month, we're going to know what we got. And to add on what I was saying earlier, Ozzy's going to make sure. I was talking to him in the office today. You know, he's got that little edge to him right now. He knows there's something he's got to do in that clubhouse to turn things around, and it will be done soon.
Well, just like you as a hitter, I always liked you when you had an edge. I like Ozzy when he's got an edge.
It's time for an edge.
All right, we have another piece here that we're going to show you now. But first, we're going to go to commercial, and then we'll be back.